Welcome back to Pat Psychology Masters. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the sound-induced flash illusion and giving you a whirlwind tour of the last 20 years of research. And to do this, I'm using Rebecca Hurst's review paper, which you can find in the description. It's excellent, and if you want to take a deeper dive, I'd highly recommend you go to read it. So, the sound-induced flash illusion. What is it? Well, it can be broken down into two components. One, the fission illusion, and two, the fusion illusion. So you're probably familiar with the ideas of fission and fusion from nuclear physics and nuclear energy. Fission, splitting the atom, or splitting one flash into two. Fusion, bringing two atoms together, bringing two flashes together using one beep. So let me give you an example just using body language and sound from my mouth. So this is a flash and beep is a beep. So for the fission illusion, we have one flash. But paired with that one flash are two beeps. Beep, beep. When that happens, for many observers, they see two flashes. Despite the fact that there was only one, the two beeps make them see two flashes, make them perceive two flashes. For the fusion illusion, we have two flashes. However, now they're paired with just one beep. Beep! Now, this isn't a perfect example, and I'd highly recommend you click on the other links in the description to see what the actual SIFI is like. But in that last instance, where two flashes are paired with one beep, many people just see one flash. So, the reason that the sound-induced flash illusion is important is because up until its discovery in the year 2000 by Ladan Shams, most psychologists and psychophysicists thought that vision was the dominant sensory modality basically in every instance. However, now audition, our hearing, was dominating what we were seeing. So the fact that something that we were hearing could impinge upon something we were seeing, that was surprising. And for researchers interested in multisensory integration, it was breakthrough. So this breakthrough has led to 20 years of research which has discovered a lot, but has also asked even more questions of, well, what is going on and what is the importance of this phenomenon? Now, I just dropped a term in there called psychophysics, which despite finishing a master's in psychology, I wasn't overly familiar with. So let me explain what that means. So psychophysics is concerned about the relationship between stimuli in the environment and the perception of that stimuli by conscious minds. So psychophysics doesn't mirror the real world. It's all about how we perceive it. And with that in mind, they don't match each other perfectly. And that's where illusions come in. Illusions occur because it's very difficult for minds to perceive the world exactly as it is. Usually minds use some type of probabilistic inference. So trying to basically use educated guesswork as to what's actually going on in the world based upon what's likely. So when we see a flash that's paired with two beeps, we're thinking, like it was two flashes, because we understand that our hearing is better at sensing two different stimuli at different time points. So it has a better temporal resolution. If we see two flashes, our vision isn't great at detecting two separate flashes when they're so close in time, because we have like a residue of the original flash. However, that's less likely with a beep that you're hearing. So our temporal resolution for audition is greater, and the sound-induced flash illusion is an example of when our audition is prioritized in integrating our senses. So what can influence the sound-induced flash illusion? Well, if you're presenting these stimuli to a person, you can influence how likely it is they are going to see two flashes and experience the fission illusion, or see one flash and experience the fusion illusion. You can tell them, look, I'm going to show you a lot of single flashes paired with 2 beeps. You're probably going to experience 2 flashes, but it's only going to be 1. So I want you to be as accurate as possible and tell me what you think you're seeing. That's going to sway a person towards only reporting 1 flash, despite maybe the fact that they could have seen 2. So experimenter effects are going to impinge upon how likely someone is to report or even experience the sound-induced flash illusion. Another effect that will impinge upon a person's experience of the sound-induced flash illusion is their own previous experience, their own life history. So are they exposed to an environment in which auditory information and visual information are paired very frequently? For example, do they go to nightclubs all the time where a heavy bass or different melodies are paired with different types of light shows? Or do they work in a service yard where different lorries are reversing and coming and going, and the reversing lights are paired with the beeping of a reversing lorry? This could affect a person's interpretation of the sound-induced flash illusion. So, why is this important? So training might diminish the illusion, and if it does, that is potentially extremely important for psychologists and potentially the general public alike. An important component of the sound-induced flash illusion is what's called the temporal binding window. So the temporal binding window is the duration of time within which stimuli are likely to be integrated and perceptually bound together. So how far apart can these flashes be separated? How far apart can the beeps be separated to produce a robust illusion? If we can narrow that temporal binding window, that is to say, if we can improve a participant's performance in a sound-induced flash illusion experiment, we might be able to reduce their risk of falls if they're elderly. We might be able to improve their coordination if they have some type of motor dyspraxia, or perhaps they have been diagnosed on the autism spectrum. Perhaps we could better integrate their senses so that they navigate the world more accurately in general. One of the most interesting parts of the review paper I read was in relation to phosphines. Now, I hadn't heard of phosphines, but a phosphine is when somebody sees light without light actually entering the eye. Now, this can be accomplished in a person using transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS. So TMS is a machine which can be applied to any part of the brain, but for the purposes of this research, applied to the occipital lobe, where visual information is processed. Using TMS, you can induce a phosphine. So basically, TMS induces a very temporary lesion, which is basically temporary damage. It doesn't last. But when you turn it on and off very quickly, you induce a flash of light perceived. Despite the eyes could be closed, there could be no flashing light in the environment. It's just being induced by the TMS. If you pair that phosphine with 2 beeps, the sound-induced flash illusion remains robust. So I found that absolutely fascinating. It doesn't have to be a flash of light from the environment. It could be a flash of light which was induced in somebody's perception without using any light stimulus. I hope you found the sound-induced flash illusion as interesting as I did. If you did, make sure to subscribe to the video so you can see other videos like this, and ring that bell so you'll get notified of my next video. Let me know in the comments if you want me to talk about any more illusions, or if there's anything specific I have unclear. And if you want to take a deeper dive, remember to check out that excellent review in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back again soon.